Rumble up big, the video website, after a massive investment from a cryptocurrency company. The conservative oriented video platform. I mean, anybody, I think you can go on there, anybody, but I don't really know how it works, George, to be honest. It seems like it's sort of like this political fixture in a way. But their pitch is basically that it's a rights management platform, so people can host, get their own money, distribute, etc. So it's a little bit more than just, like a glorified right-wing YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It is. I mean, you can certainly, add your presence on their platform. One of the things the company tried to get was Joe Rogan on the platform, but they failed to secure that. And I think that's probably maybe because he would alienate, some of the left-leaning people who listen to his program. But nonetheless, I mean, this is a business that's been growing over the past few years. The number of active users monthly is about 67 million, based upon what the company reported in Q3 of this last year. But overall, live streaming services, advertising revenues, and partnerships are what this company really needs over time to secure its presence. Just to give you some context, though, you've got over 2 billion monthly active users, regularly monthly active users on YouTube. So of course, Rumble is a small player on a relative basis to YouTube, which is actually the second largest search engine behind Google. But we know that Google's parent company owns both those businesses. But nonetheless, the stock actually ran up significantly today. There's no hiding it. It increased by about 81% at the close, and it's really an interesting situation where obviously the stock price nearly doubled, market capitalization now about $4 billion relative to two yesterday.
Tether plugged in 775 million. So, I mean, look, there's an obvious political thing going on. The new administration likes crypto. Crypto's plugging money into, some of the, I'm trying to do this the most delicate way possible, but supportive video news websites. I mean, the top categories on it are, I'm going right off the website, Republican politics after news and just trending news, and then conspiracies is right after. That's the third that's the third top one. It just says conspiracies. Yeah. That's the one that's got the most. Well, it's like the third most viewers right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I don't like politics on any of these programs, but, it looks like to me that maybe the content the company is offering is too politically connected, and perhaps that's creating some alienation.
Well, or just the right amount of politically connected. The thing is up, it's double. So, I mean, I guess.
Well, yeah, if you look at overall the offering today, it's basically 103 million shares at $7.50. So, when you just look at that relative to yesterday, it's basically a tender offer of about 775 million on $2 billion worth of market cap as of close yesterday. So I can see why the stock is higher, but you have to consider the tender offers are at $7.50, and right now the stock is trading around $13. But ideally speaking, they talk about how they're going to use 250 million to expand the business. But for all we know, with this investment by Tether, they may use proceeds to continue to buy Bitcoin, which they declared they own some Bitcoin. I don't know exactly the number, but who knows? They might end up buying some Tether at the same time as well. We don't know.
Wow. All right. So, GT, I mean, look, how does one go about thinking about this as an investment or as a trade? Is it, it's kind of bizarre. I got to be honest. It did trade at $17 before, and it got as low as $3.33. So it seems like anything's possible. I guess you should expect some wild stuff here.
You should. So, I mean, look, if you look at sales last year, 86 million, it's trading around 50 times sales. For what it's worth, that's a little bit pricey, but it doesn't necessarily mean it can't go higher from here, because we're in a crazy environment. Obviously, there's an intertwined technology component. There's a political component here. Then you've got a crypto component. So you add all these three together, you see some big moves, and we're seeing a big move in the stock today. I suggest, caution. I can't say what to do, but if you just look at the tender offer, it's for $7.50 a share, up to 103 million shares. That's the 775 million that they're talking about. So it's trading considerably above that. So expect dilution. But you have to keep in mind sales are still tepid at around 85 million, considering that valuation, which is still very rich. But I've seen crazier. The short interest in this game is about 13%. I've seen higher. I've certainly seen lower. But for what it's worth, there is this revolving door now of cryptos and equities. I'm going to use MicroStrategy as really an example of this. In particular, they're using convertible bonds to essentially buy crypto. So there's this positive feedback loop that's going on.
Yeah.
And in this case, we're seeing Tether and of course equity being involved and bound together. So that's a little risky if you ask me, but it doesn't mean things can't keep going higher from here.
Boy, so crypto company Tether, which has a storied history of its own.
Yes.
Puts money into video platform business, and video platform business buys coins. So we'll just leave it at that. Thanks, George.